Welcome, boys and girls, to another episode of Fairy Tale Land. We are going to read a story, or I'm going to read a story to you, called The Children of Hamelin. Now, it has another name, and that is the Pied Piper. Okay? So you may have heard this. This is a very strange tale. Okay? Try to think about who the Pied Piper is. Who is this guy? Right? He's very mysterious. But let's read it. And this is actually by the brothers Grimm. Now, I think it's a very old story. I think they heard it and they wrote it down. They didn't actually make it up. So, but very old story. Okay, here we go. Now, relax, use your imagination, listen. In the year 1284, a mysterious man appeared in Hamelin. This is a town in Germany. He was wearing a coat of many colored, bright cloth, for which reason he was called the Pied Piper. He claimed to be a rat catcher. That's a weird profession. And he promised that for a certain sum, money, that he would rid the city of all mice and rats. Well, who doesn't like that? The citizens struck a deal, promising him a certain price. The rat catcher then took a small fife from his pocket and began to blow on it. And that must be a little flute. It's a little flute. Rats and mice immediately came from every house and gathered around him. When he thought that he had them all, he led them to the river, Weser, where he pulled up his clothes and walked into the water. The animals all followed him, fell in, and drowned. That's the end of the rats. Now that the citizens had been freed of their plague, they regretted having promised so much money, and using all kinds of excuses, they refused to pay him. Well, that's really bad, and that's not fair. Finally, he went away bitter and angry. Oh, not good. See, this is their fault. He returned on June 26th, St. John's and St. Paul's Day, early in the morning at 7 o'clock. Others say it was at noon. Now dressed in a hunter's costume, with a dreadful look on his face, and wearing a strange red hat. He sounded his fife in the streets, his flute. But this time, it wasn't rats and mice that came to him, but rather children. A great number of boys and girls from their 4th year on. Wow. Among them was the mayor's grown daughter. The swarm followed him, and he led them into a mountain, where he disappeared with them. So he took all the kids. Well, he was mad. Boy, did he get revenge. All this was seen by a babysitter who, carrying a child in her arms, had followed them from a distance, but had then turned around and carried the news back to the town. The anxious parents ran in droves, meaning a lot of them, to the town gates, seeking their children. The mothers cried out and sobbed pitifully. Well, I would too. Within the hour, messengers were sent everywhere by water and by land, inquiring if the children or any of them had been seen. But it was all for naught, meaning no one saw them. In total, 130 were lost. 2, as some say, had lagged behind and came back. One of them was blind and the other mute. The blind one was not able to point out the place, but was able to tell how they had followed the piper. The mute one was able to point out the place, although he or she had heard nothing. One little boy, in shirt sleeves, had gone along with the others, but had turned back to fetch his jacket, and thus escaped the tragedy. For when he returned, the others had already disappeared into a cave within a hill. This cave is still shown. Until the middle of the 18th century, and probably still today, the street through which the children were led out to the town gate was called Bungilus, drumless, soundless, quiet. That's what it means. Street, because no dancing or music was allowed there, because it's a place where it's sad. Indeed, when a bridal procession on its way to church crossed the street, the musicians would have to stop playing. The mountain near Hamelin, where the children disappeared, is called Poppenberg. 2 stone monuments in the form of crosses have been erected there. one on the left side and one on the right. Some say that the children were led into a cave and that they came out again in Transylvania. Well, that's interesting. Maybe the guy was from there. The citizens of Hamelin recorded this event in their own register, and they came to date all their proclamations according to the years and days since the loss of their children. According to Seyfried, the 22nd rather than the 26th of June was entered into the town register. The following lines were inscribed on the town hall. In the year 1284, after the birth of Christ, from Hamelin were led away 130 children born at this place, led away by a piper into a mountain. And on the new gate was inscribed, Centum ter denos cum magus ab urbs puelos duxerat ante años, and then CCLXX 11, condita porta fuit. This is Latin. Okay, this gate was built 272 years after the magician led the 130 children from the city. That's what it means. In the year 1572, the mayor had the story portrayed in the church windows, meaning in the stained glass. The accompanying inscription has been largely illegible. In addition, a coin was minted in memory of the event. Wow, that's it. This is very weird. So, it's a strange tale, I have to admit. But everyone knows who the Pied Piper is. He's a mysterious character. Who was this guy? Think about it. Who was this guy? Well, I think the people were stupid in not paying him. He got revenge. He was very nasty, you know. And he took the kids. Who knows what happened to them? They probably did come out somewhere else. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that strange tale. Don't forget about the Pied Piper. Have a good day.